We prefer to live successfully, popularly, with all our virtues. And sometimes we crumble. We find that it is useless to live a virtuous life. And then we rebel against the world once again. And there will be a strong rebuff and a retreat into the individual plane of consciousness. So after 10 or 15 years of polite and virtuous life, sometimes we may be talking of God also, and meditation and some good things. And sometimes we may be talking of charity and humanity and brotherhood, all with the hope that our talk will be recognized by others and our virtues will be reciprocated by others. Sometimes we are disappointed. After 20 or 30 years of wastage of virtues, we find sometimes that all the virtues are only mental obsessions of some weak fellows, rather mental symptoms of hysterics. And then we recede into the individual plane. We see such cases also. People living a pious life for about 10 or 20 or 30 years, finding that everything is useless. And then they go into the individual requirements, begin to live a life for appetites only. That means he has to take another chance to come into the personality level and have his own evolution in the personality level once again. Just as the student who failed in his examinations in the March, he should take his chance in the September in the same examinations. So the evolution of the personality once again awaits him. But that does not mean that virtues are useless. He practiced virtues with some profiteering motive, and since virtues are not for profiteering motive, since the purpose of virtues is quite different, it starts with the fifth plane of existence. On the fourth plane, it is only a practice of virtues. Between third and fourth planes, it is only a preliminary practice with commercial motives. So, the next step is to start life impersonal. After some great burden of virtues and polite way of doing things and commercializing the polite way of living, human being discovers that virtues are not for big strain and burden. There is something there which is called satisfaction. And he understands that satisfaction has nothing to do with others' opinions. He discovers that he has to find out what others require and not what others think about him. Previously, he used to care what others think about him. Now, he begins to care what others require from him, not for any reciprocal motive, but for the pleasure of it. He understands that there is great pleasure in doing something useful to others. To make us taste this for the first time, nature has arranged the relationship of parent and the child and wife and husband, which are not only there in the human kingdom, but also there in the animal and bird and fish kingdoms, in the insect kingdoms and the plant kingdoms also. The relationship between husband and wife is not only restricted to the human kingdom, and the relationship between mother and child and father and child are not restricted only to the human kingdom. So these are the relations that are prescribed by nature to the living beings for the sacred purpose of making us taste something new which helps us in the higher evolution. That is, feeling happy when others are happy. That starts with the parent when he observes the child. See, when the child is eating, the parent is enjoying. That is how it starts. Before that, the husband is enjoying when the wife is eating, and the wife is enjoying when the husband is eating, and then both of them enjoy when the child is eating. That is how nature has prescribed the syllabus for this student, the student whom you call the traveler through evolution. The process, the course is called evolution, and the university is the universe.